8print.co. We're going to compare Asian domestic paper. This is paper made in Korea, and it applies to Vietnam, Japan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Thailand, all over Asia. And these are European and American and Canadian import papers. They're going to cost about twice as much as these papers, actually about 3 times as much. And the cost of paper is about 60% the cost of printing. So you're going to save, about 40%, 50% of the total cost by going to these 2 papers as opposed to these 3. Now, mind you, these are about a year old. These paper samples are a year old so that we allowed for darkening of the paper so that you can actually see the difference. It's exaggerated difference. If I were to show you papers that are straight off the paper mill, you wouldn't hardly be able to tell the difference between the second sheet of paper and the middle sheet of paper, the middle paper sample, because they'd be almost exactly the same whiteness value. These two just happened to darken more than the middle one, which is one of the 3 imports. Now the imports I'm going to show you are from the lightest one, Suro Echo, So that's, it's echo paper, but I don't know if it's a slow echo or thorough echo or thorough echo. If you know which it is, let me know in the comments. This one is Ensemble in the middle, and at the end, well, this one's obviously CCP. That's pretty clear. So I'm going to show you the reason why I have an iPhone here dangling and kind of glaring on the paper is to show you the glare. The only way you can actually see the texture of paper in a video is to show you the glare. So here we go. And if we zoom in, you can see that there's no texture whatsoever. You might think this is an artifact of, just video, poor video, but I will show you the difference on another sheet of paper that has some texture so you can see what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second, and here it is. Here. You can totally see the texture difference, right? One has texture and one doesn't. Notice the size of the glare too, exactly the same location. Size of the glare is huge on the left compared to the right because of the coating. So that's the effect of the coating. And I'm going to show you on another sheet of paper. Let's try maybe an uncoated sheet of paper here. And let's try this one. Actually, okay, let's try this one. Here. Again, you can totally see the texture, right? Now you can really see how smooth this paper is. So let's move this right along to the next one. This is it's a matte paper. It's a semi-gloss matte paper. The first one was a high gloss, and you can tell the difference by looking at the size of the glare. One is matte and the other one is gloss. And so you can see how gloss, the size of the spotlight is bigger because it directly reflects the spotlight, as opposed to the matte, which diffuses the spotlight. And the matte is the second one, the high gloss, the bright gloss is on the left. Now let's move over here, comparing the matte paper, which is the most popular import, or popular domestic, sorry, compared to the whitest import. And again, you can see the size of the spotlight, which implies the amount of diffusion that you're going to get on the paper. And you can actually see the texture of the paper here. Let me zoom into this. You see how this really, really white paper that's a coated stock, and it's a matte coated stock, is extremely, compared to the one on the left, which is the coated matte semi-gloss. You can see the texture difference is huge. You can really start seeing the grain of the paper in here. Yeah, there we go. Grain of the paper, no grain of paper. Grain of paper, no grain of paper. That's how smooth this Korean stock is, and this is called Snow. It's the one that's most common, and it's half the price of the one on the right. So let's move to the others as well, doing the same test. Focus. Now again, you can start seeing this. You can see how coarse this paper is, right? You see that? You can see the shadows that the spotlight is casting against this paper. Yep. Now you can really see how coarse this paper is. I'm going to give you the same test with the Korean domestic brand, and no shadows on the paper from the grain of the paper, because there is no grain of the paper. And finally, on the last one, the CCP. This is a ultra smooth, ultra coated, ultra bright paper. So the glare is going to be tiny compared to the others. And it's going to be super smooth, but it's also 3 times the price. Wow, this is like plastic. This is like glass, actually. This third paper is literally like glass. If you want to use it, we can, but it'll cost you about 3 times more. The total price of your printing is going to go up by about 300%. So there you have it. These are the main 5 sheets of paper stock that you can use in Asia. 8print.co.